Rob Lewis along with Jesse Simonton, as today we move on to the running backs at our Volquest.com positional previews, getting ready for fall camp. And Jesse, a couple of familiar faces and an exciting freshman at a unit that, kind of struggled last year.
Really 2 straight years. I mean, Tennessee's been the worst yards per carry average the last 2 years in the SEC, both 2017 and then even with the new offense and Jeremy Pruitt a year ago in 2018. Obviously, Ty Chandler returns, Tim Jordan, Jeremy Banks is going to be at running back full-time. But what can they get out of this unit that's not boom or bust? I mean, Ty, 8 carries, went for almost 50% of his yardage a year ago. The other 100 went for almost 300 yards total. That's not going to cut it. Is Tim Jordan explosive enough? The guy I think you kind of teased there, Eric Gray, what can they get out of the freshman?
Now, I'm excited to see him, and I think he, to me, looks like a guy that you can use in a lot of different ways. I mean, put him in the slot, just get the ball to him out in space. And that's one area where Chandler did excel last year, was as a receiver. I mean, that was, one of the nicest wrinkles of the offense. And you mentioned the yards per carry, 3.7, dead last in the SEC. I mean, that's not cutting it. And some of that's on the offensive line, to be sure.
100%.
To be sure, but that also, great running backs can make an offensive line look better, and Tennessee's not had a lot of that.
And how many times did we hear a year ago, whether it was Jeremy Pruitt lamenting, specifically even calling out Tim Jordan by name, saying that, basically he was freelancing too much, not, going where the hole was, kind of not even calling out a specific guy by name, but saying our running backs, aren't breaking tackles. They get the first guy, they can't make a miss. That's where we're going to see what a guy like Eric Gray can do. If Jeremy Banks can, fix his fumbleitis issues, does he maybe get some more touches because he kind of can be that hammer that Jim Chaney's looking for? I do think Jim Chaney's going to be kind of the wild card with this group because he's had so much success with tailbacks at Arkansas and Georgia, utilizing them in different ways. Ty Chandler, I think, could be explosive in the passing game. Does Tennessee kind of reincorporate that jet motion game? Georgia did a lot of that. Is that a way that you can kind of use Carlin Fields and Me's speed? So there's some wild card dynamics with this group for sure in 2019.
And I think and you touched on it, but not even just the big sexy home run plays. They've got to be able to pick up 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, and that's an area where I think maybe Jeremy Banks can help them because you're not going to block everybody in this league on every play. So you either got to be able to power through a tackle or make a guy miss in the hole, and they have been woefully inept at that.
O-line allowed, I think, 96 tackles for loss a year ago, easily the worst in the SEC.
Unbelievable.
And a lot of it was because, at times, even if the O-line just held their man up, the running backs could not break that one tackle. So certainly an area to watch this fall. I do think there's some potential with this group, but they're absolutely going to need to elevate their game for Tennessee's offense, I think, to get to a point where they can win them more than just kind of a flash-in-the-pan game like Auburn.
No, it's encouraging that Ty Chandler's shown that he can be a home run hitter in this league. Tim Jordan has flashed some, and we all think Jeremy Banks can be a physical player. Eric Gray looks exciting, but it's just unproven.
Unproven, and not a ton of depth. Not a ton of depth. I think my last thing there is that, if you get 1 or 2 injuries, Tennessee could be in trouble because you're talking about a guy like Princeton Fan or some other guys, deep down that maybe move to that running back position. I guess the last thing here, can a guy like Quavaris Crouch, does he maybe get some touches in some sort of, real weird package? He was obviously a 5-star running back. Aaron Beasley also going to play defense. They do at least have some safety net options should something happen.
Interesting addition right there. For Jesse Simonton, I'm Rob Lewis. That's a look at Tennessee's running backs as we roll on with the preseason positional previews.